this process, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue in these bits of wood on the two ends here. The reason why we do this is obviously because our piece of acrylic doesn't go all the way across, okay?
Oh my gosh.
So you're going to have these gaps on this side and on this side. So what we're going to do is glue in a piece of wood in here and a piece of wood in here, okay? Now, before I do it, and you guys don't have your pieces of acrylic yet, you need to mark out where your acrylic's going to be. Can anyone remember what the
200.
width is?
200.
200, that's right. So I'm going to measure the center of my base, which is 125. And then from that 125, I'm going to go 100 one way and 100 the other way. That should equal 200. So I'm going to go 100, 100, and then all up should equal 200, okay? So I don't want my little piece of wood to go any further than that, otherwise I'm not going to be able to fit in my piece of acrylic. So yeah, that's what you don't want to do. Now I've made these pretty tight, but they should fit in pretty snugly. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them in. I'm going to get a mallet, or I could probably even push them in and leave them to dry like that. Now after I've done that, I'm then going to cut these ends off with a saw and then sand down the top so it's nice and flush, and you'll see how that actually makes it look good later on. So first I'll just chuck a little bit of glue in. You don't need much, and then push it in. A little bit of glue. Just make sure that you're checking to make sure that it's still 200 between the two. Don't worry too much if there's glue coming around, because you're going to sand it back anyway, and you don't have to worry too much about it. So what, I'll just do that and I'll leave that to dry. So that's the first step, and then the second step I'll show how you're going to sand it back and cut it back down, okay? So after you've glued these in and you've left it for like a few minutes to dry, come to the bandsaw, cut off the ends. Make sure you're wearing the protective equipment. Sweet. So again, when we're using the machines, make sure you got covered eyes and covered ears. So what we're doing here is we're just sanding back this part here on top until it's nice and flush, okay? So on, switch here, don't touch the sandpaper. Keep the fingers in the back. Sweet, now it's nice and flush, and that's pretty much it. You can come, later on you're going to sand a bit more, but that's all you need to do now to have it nice and flush, okay? Cool.